request everyone to stand up, please. Please lead the prayer. Before you take your seat, kindly pick up pieces of grasses under your chair and arrange your chair properly. You may be seated. Great afternoon, class. How's your day? That's good to hear. Is anyone absent today? Very good. Because of that, I want you to give 5 big claps for yourselves. Last time we discussed about literary devices. And can someone here from the class give some example of it? Yes? Very well said. Another example, please. Awesome. It seems like you understand our last lesson, and because of that, I want you to give 5 big claps for yourselves. Before we proceed to our next lesson, of course, we will have our activity first. I know that this is so familiar to you because some of the teachers use it as an activity. So our activity title is all about cross the words. You ready, class? So you only have 2 minutes to analyze the letters or the words, and then everyone can participate, okay? So class, what do you think is the connection of our activity to our lesson today? Yes? So do you have any idea about poetry device or devices? Yes? Awesome. So our hashtag for today is all about hashtag let's learn poetry devices. Poetic devices are a form of literary devices used in poetry. Of course, from the word itself, poetry, it means from the poem. So there are many poetry devices. Let's start with the first one, which is the alliteration. Alliteration is a series of words occurring close together in a phrases or lines of poetry that have the same first consonant sound. For example, the best example of this is the tongue twister. There's a lot of poetry devices. So there's a lot of poetry devices that are usually used in a poem. Let us discuss first the alliteration. Alliteration means it's a series of words occurring close together in the phrases of lines of poetry. In other words, it is the same first consonant sound in a poem. So the best example for this is the tongue twister. Second one is the assonance. Means that it is the repetition of the vowel sound across words within the lines of the poem, creating internal rhymes. So, you know what are the vowels? Assonance means that this is the repetition of the vowel sound across words within the lines of the poem, creating internal rhymes. You know what are the vowels, right? These are the a, e, I, u. So for example, if you can bogalo, bogalo, I can do. So the last vowel is the letter O. Imagery in a literary or in a poetic is this is the author's use of description and vivid of a language. So there are lots of types of imagery. The first one is the visual imagery, which is sight, and allows the reader to visualize the subject. Next is auditory imagery, which refers to the sound. Next is the kinesthetic, of course. It is for movement. And the olfactory or gustatory imagery refers to the smell and taste. And for the last one, which is the tactile imagery, refers to texture and feelings. Next is the simile, which is comparing it to another subject or object using the word as or like. Metaphor, commonly used in a poem or a literature, which is described as being the same. Onomatopoeia, which describes its sounds, for example, the clap, the roar, the moo, and so on and so forth. Personification, where animals and plants are given human qualities. Refrain, a word or line that is repeated within the line or the stanzas. The rhyme, the repetition of syllables. For example, cat, hat, dog, lag, lover, river, like that, something like that. Is a stanza is a group of lines, and it is also called as verses. Repetition, it is a word or phrase is used in poetry for emphasis. Lastly, the rhythm is a rhythmic pattern in poetry is used to make it easier on the ear. Class, do you understand our lesson for today? So if yes, then I want you to make your own poem with the use of different poetry devices, okay? For your assessment, I have here a poem entitled Meaningless of Time by William Shakespeare. All you need to do is to identify the poetic devices that are used in this poem, alright? Since we don't have much time to continue your poem, so it means that it will be your assignment for today, and you will post it in a Facebook and tag me and use our hashtag for today, which is the Let's Learn a Poetic Devices, okay? So that's all for today, class. Goodbye!